Hello people, I am Jaby KOAY, joined by ACHARA KIRK.
Hello.
And we're looking at Raw, also known as ROMEO AKBAR Walter, starring John Abraham. So, to John Abraham, I have a phrase for you that I'd like you to adopt whenever you punch someone in the face. You go, wham bam, that was John Abraham. That was my joke. ACHARA didn't know I was gonna say that. I was saving it for this moment. I thought she was gonna bust up with laughter, but she didn't.
I cringed instead.
That's funny.
Why?
I think it's funny.
Yeah.
It is funny. You go, wham bam, that was John Abraham, and then walk off. That's dope. I wish I could say that. It's like, what? Wham bam, that was Jaby KOAY. It doesn't have the same kind of like...
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have the same kind of like rhyming pizzazz.
Exactly. All I can do is be like, have a good day. That was Jaby KOAY.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
No, it's not cool.
That's positive.
That's like if... Yeah, anyway. Wham bam, that was John Abraham. ROMEO AKBAR Walter, let's check this out. Just as a heads up, we do not have subtitles on this video. I tried looking at IMDb for information. It says, set in the 1970s India. It is a spy thriller. That is literally what it says. Written and directed by Ravi Grewal. And it also stars Jackie Shroff and Mooney Roy.
Okay.
That's all the information we have, no subtitles, so hopefully we'll be all right. Releasing April 12th. Mark your calendars. That's a good ways out. I mean, normally it's like only like a month and a half out, you know? But
it's a little ways,
so April 12th, mark your calendars. Here we go.
तेरे अब्बा हमें दिल्ली ले गए थे 26 जनवरी की परेड दिखाने जनगण मन बजा नहीं तो अपने अब्बा से पहले सैल्यूट मारने को तैयार
Oh boy.
ऐ वतन
We got music that we gotta worry about. Oh, look at the hair.
Wow.
That's some hair. It's all bloodied up. What happened to you, man?
Okay.
Oh boy, he looks younger. 1970s hairstyle. Get him, get him. That's the bad guy. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Who's that? Oh.
He's in costume.
Okay.
He's a spy.
He's a spy.
He's been training and now...
Why are you crying, John Abraham?
Stuff's not going too well.
What are you crying about, man? He's a spy. I apologize for the lowering the volume, by the way. That music is gonna land us a copyright claim if I don't otherwise.
So is he a raw agent? Is that also why it's called raw?
I believe so. Yeah. It's sort of a double entendre. So,
okay.
Before I forget, Happy Republic Day in India.
Yes.
Assuming that this comes out in time, this reaction. I like John Abraham. I think he's cool. The only thing I didn't like in his last movie that I watched, which was about the building of the nuclear missile, I can't remember the name of that movie for some reason, it escapes my brain, but I remember watching it, I remember the story, I remember everything about it. That was a big deal, that story, because it was about India building its first nuclear missile.
Right.
The only thing that was weird there was John Abraham didn't kick enough butt, honestly. Like, he's playing a normal dude, I'm like, that's not you, man. Like, you're not a normal dude. You walk in the room, everybody's gonna notice you. But outside of that, I think he's good. He's got the acting range of like Keanu Reeves, right? And so he's still likable, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, gotcha.
Even though he doesn't have like a huge range, in my opinion, I think he's still a very likable person to watch. I still like seeing him do his thing.
Yeah.
Pick up cars and beat people up. It's fun. I don't know exactly what's happening here, but seeing him cry like that, I believe him when he cries. That's the thing. Because at the end of that movie, I should find out the name of that film, but at the end of that movie, he cried, and I bought into him crying. So he's really good at that.
Well, I think any male actor who can cry, you're always gonna work.
Harmandeep. Story of Pokhran. Yeah, that's the movie that I watched. This looks like kind of a nerve-wracking movie because he's on enemy lines is what it looks like. He's a spy.
Yeah, he's a spy. I didn't realize going into this that this was a teaser.
Behind enemy lines, not on enemy lines. That would be weird. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that this was a teaser, so watching it, I was kind of like, wow, they're really not giving that much away for a trailer. And then at the end, I was like, oh, okay, it's a teaser, in which case, it worked. I'm supposing that the picture, the kind of old picture that they start off with is him as a kid, and it looks like maybe he comes from military family, and so that's in his lineage. And then so he goes on to train, and it's cool seeing him assume all these different identities. He's probably really well established. There's probably a good reason why a bunch of people want him dead.
Well, he's following it to a degree in his father's footsteps.
Exactly.
And it might have even been that his father died when he was quite young. I mean, that's what it looks like. And so there's this kind of void that's left, and you're following in that legacy and in an effort to kind of fill that void.
Yeah, and to get to know the person who left you behind,
right,
in a sense, yeah.
You know, you're picking up where your dad left off, so to speak. Or you're even going further. I mean, my dad, for instance, went into the Air Force, and his dad before him were part of the Marines.
Gotcha.
You know, his father was a little pissed that he went into the Air Force instead of the Marines, but
right,
it's still military, right?
Yeah.
I was the first to deviate from that plan.
You were like, no, hell no.
Now I just watch movies about the military.
Yeah.
So he starts out with him, you know, bloodied and beat up, and so you know he goes through some serious stuff.
Yeah.
Something that I always appreciate whenever you see that in an action film. I call that the John McClane effect, where he's got to pick himself back up by his bootstraps, even though he feels defeated and, you know, maybe wants to give up. That's where the trailer starts you off. So you're already getting the tone of this film, and then you see that serious haircut, and that's different. I've never seen him in that kind of hairstyle.
No. I'm honestly not super digging that hair on him. I much prefer that, like, close cropped hair on him. It just looks like, you know, he's already that rugged dude, and it just emphasizes his ruggedness more, which I think works for him. That's a good look for you, John Abraham.
Yeah.
But that kind of 70s long hair, I'm like, who are you trying to convince?
Well, you know
No.
what? It sort of feels like maybe a very serious version of Vishwal Rupam. Maybe a little bit.
Huh.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Because he was a spy as well.
Yeah, that's true.
He also had that kind of long hair thing going on as well. I mean, it's a totally different movie tonally, but
yeah,
still,
but
you know.
he was pretending that he was a classical dance teacher.
Right.
I do not see any dancing happening in this trailer.
You don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know what's gonna happen.
I mean, just judging from the color palette that they're using in this trailer, it does look like it is more serious because it's not very bright, you know.
We have a conflict of information here, by the way. The title of the video says releasing April 12th.
Okay, in India, they put the day first and then the month. So it's still April 12th.
Everything's fine. Nothing's confusing.
I know. Over here, it looks like December 4th, 2019. That is not conflicting information. It is correct.
I think it's cool, this double entendre. I mean, that's not really a double entendre, but that's the only word I can think of to make sense of it, because it's RAW.
Yeah.
Stands for something, something, something. And also Romeo Akbar Walter.
Yeah.
What? I forgot what it stands for. What does RAW stand for? India. Research and Analysis Wing. That's right. I knew it was something weird like that. Like, because I remember reading that and being like, that's a interesting title. I don't know what that means. I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a research and analysis wing of the government. Mm-hmm. There you go.
Yeah.
Which wing are you? The research and analysis one. That one. What we see is John Abraham donning a lot of different looks. I didn't even realize that was him getting chased by the cop in the alleyway. I thought those were two completely different characters.
Right.
He just looks so different in this movie. I was convinced that was someone else for the longest time. The glasses with the hair and the beard and all that.
Yeah. It looks like he's infiltrating into the Muslim community, so I'm wondering if he's had to go into Pakistan or something.
Well, that's what I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gleaning from this this trailer with no subtitles.
Oh, he's a spy.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
I'm assuming he's a spy, an Indian spy in Pakistan. That's what makes more sense. Yeah.
That's what I would assume.
Yeah. This is the description from the YouTube video. As we celebrate our nation's 70th Republic Day, let's remember those who have lived and died for our great nation and protected our freedom. Presenting the teaser of Romeo Akbar Walter. I really wish they would say some more story stuff, but they don't. So we're looking at the IMDb of Ravi Gurwal. I just want to see what else he's done. Sanmay When Time Strikes. MP3, Mera Pella Pella PR. That's another play on the word, you know, Mera Pella Pella PR. Alu Chat, and I don't know any of these movies.
No.
This director-writer is brand new to me. I want to say, even though we covered up the music by lowering the volume to avoid a copyright claim on this video, I like the idea of using that kind of music to underscore what's going on in this scene, because it almost magnifies what you're doing, what you're seeing, more than serious music might. for some reason.
Right,
It
yeah.
highlights it or emphasizes it in a weird, ironic way because it's music that you don't normally associate with this. I don't know what the song is saying. I don't know what the lyrics are.
I wonder
but-
if it's also like a song that would have been popular during the 70s.
That's possible
so, like,
as well.
Being true to the
Yeah.
period and that.
What sticks out in my mind as an example of that is always Face Off. There's a
yes.
Somewhere Over the Rainbow playing this cover of that song while all this chaos is going on
Yeah.
between Nick Cage and John Travolta and all these people. And I thought that was cool.
Yeah,
You know,
very cool.
My dad thought that was sick, and he means like gross.
Like not like today's sick,
Yeah,
like
that was sick. No,
That was
not
sick,
like that.
dude.
He thought that was kind of mental, but I thought it was awesome, and I think it's awesome here as well. I think it's just cool the idea of using that kind of music. That's why I did something similar in Stalker. Mm-hmm. You know,
yeah,
that kind of just like happy music.
music, and it's not so
like-
happy. If you guys haven't seen it, you should.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Don't watch that. I need to go back and redo the dubbing in that.
Oh.
The dubbing sounds like it doesn't sound like me, but that's not what we're talking about.
No, we're talking about Raw.
But because I knew we were watching something about military, I thought I would wear my Metal Gear Solid shirt. This is Solid Snake, but cute.
Oh,
right.
I decided to wear
Green
my
for
green
the flag.
for the army.
Solid Snake. There, in case you're wondering. One thing I want to point out is a lot of times when you see movies where people are donning different costumes and stuff, usually you can tell who that person is. It's like, oh, that's Superman. That's Clark Kent. Like, you know, you can tell.
Oh yeah, because
it's the same
those are like
person.
super obvious things. You know, when I wear my glasses, I don't suddenly arrive here to work with you, Jaby, and you're like, where did Chara go?
Right.
You know, like that never happens. That always confused me as a kid. I'm like, how does no one realize that Clark Kent is actually Superman? His disguise isn't that good. He
Right.
just, you know,
Well, all I'm trying to say is, wow, she went off on one.
I know. I have issues.
All I'm trying to say is that all of his looks make him look like a totally different person.
It's true.
He was almost unrecognizable for me whenever he changed looks. I was like, oh wait, we're still watching Wham Bam, Thank You, John Abraham. Like, I didn't realize. Okay.
Unless the looks are basically just a progression of his character through time, it's cool that, you know, he stays relatively the same or has only minor changes in his character. But I'm hoping that if they are indeed looks of him, you know, being a spy and infiltrating enemy lines and stuff, I'd love to see how he handles, creating
behavior.
a different
Yeah.
character. Yeah. That'd
Yes.
be very, very interesting.
Yes, it would. I would like to see that as well. I don't know how well he'll do that, but I know that when he cries, I will cry. Because that was true before and it'll be true again. You guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Check out ACHARA KIRK, check out Jaby KOAY. We're both on the social media hanging out, just waiting for you to say hello. Also, happy Republic Day. You guys, have a good one. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check out our other reactions, reviews, and short films. I'm Jaby KOAY. This is
Chara Kirk.
Peace out.